Hello everyone. Today we would like to learn about reading strategy. Reading can be fun and tiring at the same time, even more so when you have to read a lot of books or text. When you don't have much time and don't want to waste time reading something that doesn't really matter, you need to learn speed reading techniques or reading strategy. And today we would like to learn about one of the reading strategies, is skimming. So today, Lulu'a and my friend Rahelina Nisa Octaviandini will provide an explanation about what skimming is, when and why you do skim and others. So let's begin with the first explanation. Okay, let's begin with a question. Why is reading important when you're learning a new language? Here are some of the reasons. Reading helps you learn to think in the new language. Reading helps you build a better vocabulary. Reading makes you more comfortable with written English. You can write a better English if you feel comfortable with the language. Reading may be the only way for you to use English if you live in a non-English speaking country. And last, reading can help you if you plan to study in an English speaking country. But here I would like to talk about the way to become a better reader or how to become a better reader. The first way is reading for pleasure. Read as much as you can. Read books, magazines, newspapers, stories. Read anything you like. The more you read, the better you will read. And the second is working on your reading skills. When you read, you use many different skills. You need to work on them one at a time. Here are 6 important skills you will work on. The first is previewing. Before you start reading, find out something about what you will read. Then you can start thinking about the subject. You will be able to read faster and with more understanding. The next, asking questions as you read. This keeps your mind on what you read. Asking questions help you pay attention. It also helps you to remember what you read. The next is guessing what new words mean. It takes too much time to look up every new word, and if you stop, you may forget what you are reading. Use the whole sentence or paragraph to guess word. And the next, finding the topic and the main idea. The topic and the main idea let you know what is important. To find the topic and the main idea, ask the question, what is this about? And what does the writer want to say about this? And the next skill is understanding pattern in English. A pattern is a way of putting ideas together. If you find pattern, you can understand more. You will also remember more. And the last skill is using signal words. Some words are like signposts on a highway. They tell you what direction the writer is going, and they help you to follow the writer's ideas. Signal words also help you guess what you will read about. And let's continue to the third way to become a better reader. The third way is learning to read faster. Reading faster is very important because of the way your brain works. When you read slowly, your brain does not get enough information. You will understand better when you read faster. And last way is learning to think in English. You also need to work on understanding English sentence. Learn how to get the meaning of the sentences. Find out how ideas follow each other in English. So, what is skimming? Skimming is very fast reading. Or, on the other hand, we can say that skimming is a reading technique meant to look for main or general ideas in a text without going into detailed and exhaustive reading. When you skim, you read to get the main ideas and a few, but not all of the details. To skim rapidly, you must leave out parts of an article or story. Skimming is a very useful skill. It will allow you to get information quickly from anything you read. Knowing how to skim will make you a better reader. And this may what distinguishes skimming from reading in general. The first, of course, skimming is fast reading. The second, get main idea, not all details. Must leave out parts. May leave out half to three-quarter paragraph once you have the main idea of the paragraph. Comprehension is lower. Try to comprehend as much as you can while reading at an average speed. Comprehend 50% of what you are reading, twice as fast, and usually done with material you know nothing about. Why skim? Maybe I can say it also with the benefit of skimming. Okay, the first is know what kind of reading it is. I mean, you don't have to read all of the text if you just want to know that the text is an article, an essay, or others. And the second is get the main idea fast, especially for long text. It means you don't have to read all of the parts of the text or all of the details of the text if you just want to know what the text is talking about. Not for the details, of course. And the third is quickly remember main idea of something you read a long time ago. And the fourth is decide if the text is important or interesting for you to read. But in the point of this is why people do skimming is to read and understand fast.
Okay, for the next material is when we do skim. So the right time to skimming are one before we read for details. Before we read the details of the reading, it would be better if we skimming first. This will make it easier for us to know the general reading flow before going into detail. Number two, when we have a lot to read but not much time. So just like the first one, this will make it easier for us to know the content of the reading as a whole. By skimming reading and certainly does not take a long time. Okay, next we're going to how do we skim? So steps we should take when skimming are 1. Read the title. Of course, we must know what title we will read. Step number 2. Read the introduction or the first paragraph. Because This is usually the opening of a discussion that will be more in depth. Number 3, read the first sentence of every other paragraph. Because usually the subject matter of discussion of a paragraph depending on the first sentence or we know as main idea. Step number 4, read any heading and subheadings if there is a heading or subheading. Step number 4, notice any pictures, charts, and graphs if there is a picture, chart, and graphs. Because usually it contains important information related to the discussion of reading. Step number 6, notice any italicized, bold word or phrases. Similar to the previous one, this is usually italicized, bold, or other writing containing important information about the reading. And for the last step is read the summary or last paragraph. Summary contains about everything that has been discussed in the reading, then this is very important for us. And don't forget, skimming is only read the most important part, not at all, but most important part. Next, we going to skimming tips. There are 4 tips to skimming. Tips number 1, read the first several paragraphs. This will help you to identify the topic of the article, the subject, a little of the author's styles, the author's viewpoints, and so on. Leave nothing out but read at your top speed. Authors usually give an intro in the first few paragraphs. This helps get an overall picture of the article. Tips number 2, leave out materials. Once you have a general overview of the article, you should begin to leave out material right away. So by the 4th or 5th paragraph, you may read only the key sentences to get the main idea and skip the rest of the paragraph. Let your eyes jump ahead, picking up 1 or 2 important words, phrases, or numbers. Tips number 3, find the main ideas. Try to get the main idea of every paragraph plus a few facts. You will not get all the facts, but you may get some. Sometimes the main idea is not in the first sentence. Sometimes it is in the middle or the end of the paragraph. This may take extra time to find. Some paragraphs may not have a main idea. The final paragraphs often summarize the story or article, so they may be worthwhile to read more fully. And for the last tips is read fast. The purpose is to get the author's main idea at a very fast speed. Don't get too caught up in detail. And now we going to example of skimming reading. First step is read the title. The title is A Bossy Student. Step number 2, Read the introduction or the first paragraph. So the first paragraph is Tomiko is happy to be a student in New York until degree at New York University. Next step, read the first sentence of every other paragraph. So we read Tomiko is happy to be a student in New York. Tomiko likes the many beautiful buildings in New York and others. So number 4, read any heading and subheading if there is a heading or subheading. Okay, so we next. Step number 5. Notice any pictures, chart, or graphs if there is a picture, chart, or graphs. Step number 6 or next. Notice any italicized, bold, or other if there is a bold, italic, or other. And number 7, read the summary of last paragraphs. So last paragraph is Tomiko is so far from her home in Japan, but she is not sad. She goes to classes every day. She visits her friends. She goes to see new places, and she attends many places. She is very busy and happy in New York. And that is the last paragraph. And for the reminder, skimming is only read the most important part, not at all, but only read the most important parts.
So let's get going to the second example. Many people think that skimming is done by reading random or irregular words. However, to do skimming effectively, you need to do it in a structured way. Of course, you don't need to read every single thing that exists. So, how to determine what needs to be read and not? Okay, as we know that the first way that we have to do is read the title. Here we have the title is Learn These Amazing Red Panda Facts. So from the title we can guess what the text will talk about. Yep, it's about the amazing of red panda facts. Okay. And then if you're doing a research and finding a very long writing, first read the first paragraph or the introduction carefully and find the main ideas that will be discussed in the article. Okay, here we get the introduction or the first paragraph. Red pandas are blah 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 until the words of animals. And then when you understand the main idea, you can start reading the first sentence in each paragraph. I mean this all. Okay, you get it right. Because this is a topic sentence, it contains the main ideas that will be discussed in that paragraph. If you don't find the main idea in the first sentence, you can search more. Okay? And then we have to notice about any picture, graphs, or charts. And then here we have the pictures of red panda. And then we have to notice about the subheadings. Yes, we have any subheading here. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have 6 subheadings. And then don't forget to read the summary or the last paragraph because it is about the conclusion. I mean. Yeah, it means the last this. Okay, exactly. We have to notice about the bold face or italicized words or phrases. But as we look here, we don't have any italicized or bold face. Okay, but if you see italicized or bold face in text you read, you have to notice it. Okay. Okay, this is the last slide of our material today. Thank you for your nice attention. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.